Welcome to the Raw Reality Reset series.
If you've fallen off track, lost momentum, or picked up habits that no longer serve you, this series is for you.
Over the next few episodes, we're diving into the hard truths, mindset shifts, and practical tools to help you reset for the second half of the year, rebuild momentum, and get back to feeling like you.
Because 6 months can change a lot if you decide to start now.
Episode 4 of the Reset series. We're feeling good. We're coming to the end of July, which is just insane.
Yeah.
And I'll say it. I'll put my hands up and say that this year is flying, okay?
It's always flying. Like, tell me a year that didn't fly.
When I was little. Like, the older you get, the faster it gets.
Yeah.
Why?
I think it's social media.
Because we're not present. Yeah. Anyway, we won't go into that. But today is all about burnout and that sometimes we're not burnt out, we're just disconnected from ourselves. And episode 3, we spoke a lot on like coming back to yourself. And then today we're going to touch on a bit more of like burnout because it is so common, but it's also so common to just say you're burnt out.
And burnt out also means not aligned.
Yeah.
Now, it also can mean that you have done too much. And this is something that I did struggle with. I'm going to say over the Christmas
the last
period.
2 Christmas periods.
Yeah, last 2 Christmas. I don't know what happens around Christmas, but something happens out and I burn out. And I posted a TikTok about it and someone replied on it and it kind of offended me. And they were like, I'll have to go back and find it. But it was basically like, you never get burnt out if you love what you're doing. And I was like,
I remember this.
I do like what I'm doing, but why do I feel like
I don't
this?
agree with that.
No, I also agree with you.
Because I'm like, you can love what you do and do so much of it that you burn yourself out.
Exactly.
Because you love it.
Now, when I stood back and I really reflected on it, I think it was more so for the fact that I was possibly doing the wrong things that I really liked. So, for example, that I was doing so much to try and grow the business that it started to not be what I don't like, but I was like, oh my God, this is taking up all of my time and energy and I'm missing pieces from the business that I do like. So I think that really comes into just your everyday life is you're not going to love everything you do. And even if you love your job and you love your passion, you're always going to go through ups and downs. And even in your relationship, there's going to be ups and downs. And that also comes with burnout. You're going to sometimes feel really good and other times not feel so good. And that's where we need to reflect on, okay, where am I disconnected? And work on that.
Yeah. And burnout can look different for everyone. It can look different for you every time. Like we've had a handful of times where we've been burnt out and like we just know each other. We're like, you need a break.
Yeah.
But it can just look different for everyone every time that you go through it. And that's when it's like self-awareness comes into it massively because if you're aware of your body and how you feel, like burnout could mean you skip a cycle. Burnout could mean you're what's it called when you eat? Your levels, your
hunger levels?
Yeah, your hunger levels. There's another word.
Appetite.
Your appetite. Thank you. Like your appetite could decrease or increase. Like burnout can look like so many different things. And when you're more in tune with your body, the more you'll figure it out. Yeah. And it's also, last week we spoke on not relying on motivation. And burnout could come into play when it's like you have your back to me list, you have your feel good fundamentals, and you, like, not even doing them makes you feel good. That would be a big sign of burnout because those are the things that usually fill up your cup. So it's really being in tune with your body and learning kind of what works for you and what doesn't. And burnout is so, I feel like it's been exacerbated on the internet of like, oh, well, I'm burnt out. And it can and it does happen way more often nowadays because our society is just moving fast. It's so entrepreneurial. Like we want to do a lot, which is incredible. But it does come with those, not side effects, but you know what I mean?
Especially as we enter the middle half of the year, their excitement for things has definitely worn off, right? And you have kind of all of the public holidays are past, Easter's past, and we're kind of in the trenches. Like it's cold, sun rises later, the sun sets later, and I find that we do start to get burnt out a little bit more. And even leading into the second half of the year is something that I think a lot of us need to be on top of, especially like my ultimate goal this year is to not get out by December and be like, holy fuck, I'm dead. Like I want to get to December and have time to map out my goals, have time to reflect on the year and actually be like, oh my gosh, it was incredible. And that starts now. And it starts from feeling connected to what you're doing and not just constantly running in a state of burnout trying to get everything done. Okay, real talk. Do you know what's actually in your cleaning products? Most products you buy in store are loaded with forever chemicals. These chemicals literally never break down. They build up in your body, in your home, and in the waterways. And every time you wash your clothes, spray them around the home, or wash your dishes, you're coating chemicals into things you sleep in, eat off, and your kids touch.
So we've recently switched over to the Lucent Globe detergent sheets, which are completely free from forever chemicals. But not only that, the cleaning results are crazy. They smell so much nicer than chemical-filled products, and they make me feel way better about what I'm using around the house.
And what I love, not only do they actually work, but they also keep innovating. They constantly bring out new amazing scents for your laundry like pineapple coconut, sandalwood vanilla, and even Chanel No. 5. These products are literally game-changing.
Lucent Globe isn't just a brand that has slapped a green label on something. They have a team of scientists working full-time, constantly refining their formulas. So if you're someone who reads the labels on your foods and even your skincare, it makes sense to apply the same standard to all the products you clean your home with.
Head to lucentglobe.com and use code REALITY15 for 15% off your first order. What do you do when you feel burnt out?
I would say it's like your feel-good fundamentals or your back-to-me list, but more of them. Or actually, those are like the things I would do kind of straight away to just like feel a little bit better. But in terms of like how I'm overcoming burnout is to look at my schedule, look at my routines, and look at like the map of my week life and put more time in for me. Where can I delegate a few more things? Where can I maybe ask for help? Because my friends, my family are willing to help where maybe I'm just like not like asking. And try and like take a step back so that I can take 5 steps forward.
I reckon as well, you're a holiday person or a time away.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're starting to feel burnt out, you're like, okay, we need to go separate
like
and
weekends,
go reset.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a day in Noosa or Sunny Coast, whatever it is, that's like what I reckon.
Yeah, definitely.
Mine, I would say I just need to tick off my to-do list and I feel good. And I know that sounds actually crazy, but I find my burnout comes when I feel behind constantly, when I don't feel ahead, when I don't feel organized, when I just feel like I'm chasing my tail. And it's literally, okay, I just need to tick this off now. To do that, things have to change throughout the week. I can't just be like work till 1 a.m. in the morning trying to tick everything off because then the list will just re-come tomorrow. So it's like, okay, what can I do to help me systemize things better, get on top of things better, because a lot of my burnout like repeats itself until I change a structure or change a strategy and then things get better. So I would honestly say having a clear to-do list, that's what helps me. And then having a day off, so a Sunday or a Saturday, then I'm good to go again.
Period.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes have you ever like looked around and then gone, why do I not feel like myself?
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
And that can be in appearance, that can be in the way your body feels, that can be in your mental health. Like there's so many different areas within our body that could feel a bit off, or it could be just the whole thing. So again, it's like it's having your, like we spoke about last week, your feel-good fundamentals, your back-to-me list, but then it's having the bigger things to get you through the harder times like a burnout, if that it is full-on burnout. And again, that looks different for everyone. Burnout for some people is like they're literally bedridden because they've exhausted themselves to the point where they need sleep, they're probably lacking iron, like kind of gets to that point. Or it's like I can feel myself tapping out, I can't concentrate. And again, everyone's going to look different. So it's having the basic kind of things that's easy for you to do. Or then it's like for me, okay, do I need to book a weekend away? For you, I need to like block a day where no one can contact me and I can get through the list that I need to get through. What is that for you? Like listening and identify that and then implement that.
Yeah. And it just comes from feeling disconnected overall, right? And it's like, for example, when I'm burnt out, I'm disconnected from myself because I don't have time to focus on me, clearing my head, having clarity. For you, it might be you feel disconnected from Jackson or disconnected from the work and that you're feeling overwhelmed and then you start feeling like you, and all of those things like do add up. So it's like, what have you been neglecting lately that you know matters to you? And I find when you do that, you already feel so much better because you feel grounded and you kind of like really come back to you. So what have you been neglecting lately?
Probably just like, what's the word? Like present me time. Like I've been really good with peace and like calm and like taking time for me, but then it's still sometimes where I'm like having that moment and I'm like looking for something to do or feel like I should be working when I'm like, it's okay to, for me right now in the season, it's okay to be slow and it's okay to not be in that hustle grind mode.
I still feel like you are.
Yeah. Yep. But that's where I'm like, it's actually okay to not be that season because it's maternity leave. It's, you know, looking after a baby and looking after myself. So just like being really present in that and not letting the guilt come in because you've got my whole life to grind.
Yeah. Mine's almost the opposite in a way. I feel like I'm not present when I'm with my friends. I feel like I'm thinking about what I have to do and like
You
I
can
guess
tell.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. Like I'm neglecting actually like not saying yes to social occasions because I will say if my friends are hanging out, I'm hanging out with them. But it's being present right then and there. And I find that when I'm not, I'm already starting to like burn myself out for the day because I'm not allowing myself to actually have that mental break and then I feel disconnected from my friends or the conversation and my mind wanders. And even like there's been so many times people are talking to me and then I'm like thinking about what I have to do and then they stop and I'm like, no idea what you just said because I was thinking about everything I have to do after this. So I really need to focus more so on being present when I'm with people.
And that's like even you mentioned last week, the work can wait. Most like 9 times out of 10, it's like no one's dying. Yeah. And it's like, how can I just be present at that moment? Because it's like you have to allow yourself to switch off and be okay with that. And then sometimes you might have to reassure yourself and be like, my clients are good. Kate is good. My coaches are good. Like everyone is fine. I can enjoy the next 2 hours being present with my friends. No one's going to get injured or die. It's all going to be okay. Yeah. And just like reassure yourself that before like hanging out with us and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which we need to do.
We need to do.
It's that mid-year hiatus. It's back. We always go strong this the first half and the start of the year and the end of the year. But we need to
fix up the middle.
It's good for me, you, Christina, because we're in office together.
I know, we're so lucky. Yeah. When we kind of like feel like this and you're starting to feel disconnected, you're starting to feel burnt out, we've spoken about the feel-good fundamentals, we've spoken about like getting back to you, but what actually, if there's one specific thing that makes you feel like you, what is it? That makes all of your worries disappear, that makes you feel like you can be present.
Just going to the beach, feet in the sand. Being like getting grounded, which like, makes sense, right?
Yeah.
What's yours?
On a boat.
Yeah, you do say that.
Anytime I'm on a boat, nothing. I actually don't care
Both
about
of ours is water.
Else. They are water. Yep, water. Wasn't there? I saw a reel or quote that I'm pretty sure you liked or reshared it, and it was like, "Isn't it ironic that the ocean you can drown in, but when you feel like you're drowning just from everyday life, you go to the ocean?"
Yeah,
I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy."
Yeah, I did.
I butchered that, but yeah, it makes a difference. Okay, so disconnection doesn't always have to be dramatic. It can kind of be an accumulation of small things, like whether that be your career, whether that be training. Like you might not actually be enjoying your training, and then you kind of keep pushing and pushing and pushing that because you feel so disconnected, then it feels like it leads to burnout. But you're not actually listening to what you want and what your body wants. If you want to start incorporating running, if you want to start incorporating Pilates or CrossFit or whatever it is, sometimes you just need to actually listen to what you want to do and implement those and stop trying to almost like push against a brick wall when it's not moving.
And you probably didn't wake up disconnected. It's happened slowly and over time, but you feel like it's happened all of a sudden because you're like, oh, well, everything's, crumbled and I don't feel like myself. But then you reflect, like we said in episode 1, and you go, right, well, I haven't been doing this and I've been neglecting that and that's been happening for the last 3 weeks. So it does make sense that it's happened over time, but all of a sudden it feels like it's hit you. So also, how can we put steps in place to not get to that point of like, I've fully disconnected and start catching yourself earlier so that when we do get to this mid-year slump, we maybe next year don't because we see the signs earlier and we're implementing these things before it gets too out of hand.
When you feel disconnected too, I think you also lose your why behind why you do things, and especially when it comes to business, right? You might be like fully grinding at your career, trying to go up the corporate ladder or starting your own business, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm starting to really resent this or not like enjoy it. Really come back down to your why. Exactly the same when I have really hard days in prep. I'm like, okay, come back to my why. Like, why do I feel disconnected from the sport? Why do I feel disconnected from myself? This is why I'm doing it. And I find that really, really helped because you kind of like brings you back down to the baseline of your enjoyment of why you started it anyways. And then you can keep pushing. But if you keep, again, pushing against something that's like not going to move, that's when you just continue that burnout.
Lastly, we kind of just want to touch on the different, I guess, stages or feelings of burnout. And this can be looking like physical, emotional, mental, or it could be all of them. And you're actually just completely exhausted. But then there's also that difference between full-on burnout and exhaustion. And I feel like, again, we see it a lot online of I'm burnt out, I'm exhausted, and it looks different for everyone. Like my exhaustion is going to look different to yours. So it's not comparing yourself in that area, but it's trying to identify where you're at.
A lot of time I get mentally tired.
Yeah.
Not really ever physical. Like, yeah, I can get physically tired if I've lacked some sleep or done a hard workout, but the physical tiredness would come from if you're overtraining, probably underfueling, pushing yourself to the limit for a body composition goal. In comparison, the mentally tired is probably when you're really trying to push yourself in a career, or you're trying to prove yourself, or you're starting a new business, whereas an emotionally tired might be a relationship's draining you. You're going through a breakup, or you might be having issues with friendships or family, and there are like definitely 3 different types of the burnout there. So almost identify, okay, which thing is draining me? Like, am I physically exhausted and really struggle to show up at the gym? Or do I have trouble concentrating at work because my mind is just going in overdrive? Or am I really struggling and my relationship is always on my mind? I think that's really important to kind of identify where your burnout is coming from, because if you say, oh, well, I just need to rest from the gym this week, but your career is actually what's burning you out, then you can probably take an hour off for the gym, but your mind is still racing, right? And that is where it's really, really important to come back down to, okay, am I tired or am I like actually just burnt out?
Yeah. And it's just learning yourself, because also you could be mentally exhausted, but it comes into physical or vice versa. They can kind of intertwine. So it's really determining what kind of rest you need. Does that look like, yep, I'm completely tapped out. I need a weekend away. I need a week off. I need to like literally ask for a day off work or 2 days off work and not gym and kind of just like let myself rest? Or do I need to change things in my life day to day? Because they're very different. It's like, are you neglecting things? Are you doing the wrong things, in staying on the wrong habits? That is like an ongoing burnout. Or is it like the last 3 weeks have been massive. I'm so tired. I just need a few days off. Great.
That was exactly me this week.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, am I leading to burnout?
End of last week, you were like, oh, no.
Yeah, I was like, I'm really struggling. And then it literally, all I needed was 2 days, not off, but just to like relax a little bit. Made such a big difference. So it's like, okay, I didn't actually need to change my whole routine, come up with all this back to me list and do all of these things. I just actually needed to not set an alarm and to have a bit of a slower day.
Yeah.
That helped me so much. Whereas burnout, you find that it kind of repeats itself weeks in, weeks out. And that's when you do need a change. And also just kind of reflect on, am I just lacking energy or am I lacking direction? Because when I'm lacking energy, I just need a few days off. When I'm lacking direction, that's when my mind spirals and I need to change things.
Yeah. And I would personally, like if I was going through this, I would start with like the couple days off, day off, just like, again, don't set an alarm, go get a acai bowl or a feed at your favorite place, like do the things you love and see how you feel after that. Then if you like go back to work the next week and you're like, I'm still tapped out, can't concentrate, you know, work's not getting done to the level that I can, that's when I would be looking at your routines and your standards and maybe going, okay, I need to take some time off and just like rejiggle my routine. Do I need to not gym at 4 a.m. for the next 2 weeks just so I can like get extra sleep, feel that good, and then I can reintroduce gym?
Yeah.
And maybe you push gym to the arvo. Like you might just have to rejig your routines for the short time and then you can kind of get back into it, but you have to prioritize what your body needs.
Bang. Well,
yeah.
Hopefully now you can align yourself with what makes you feel good. Hopefully you're not burnt out too much. And if you are, just really come back to what makes you feel your best. Align yourself with your goals in your direction again. And then we're back for the final episode of the Reset series next week.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Time is flying. We love you guys so much and we hope you're enjoying this Reset series. Don't forget to share it with a friend or tag us in your stories. And we'll be back in your ears on Monday.
Bye.